And we're going to segue over here to our Seattle Kraken now, who finished off their inaugural season. So on the 26th, they played the Vancouver Canucks, and that was a loss of 2-5. Our player of the game is Morgan Geekie with 1 goal, 1 point, 4 shots on goal, and 1 hit. On April 27th, they played the LA Kings, and that was here at home. That was unfortunately also a loss, 3-5. Player of the game for Ryan Donato, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points, 2 shots on goal, 1 hit, 1 block. On the 29th, they finished their home season against the San Jose Sharks with a win of 3-0. Player of the game was Chris Drieger, 21 of 21 saves on even strength, 3 of 3 on power plays, 1.1%. How would you say that? 100%?
I'd say 1.0.
1.0 save percentage. Okay. And on May 1st, they finished their season on the road against the Winnipeg Jets. That was a loss of 3-4. Player of the game, Alex Wenberg, 1 goal, 1 assist, 2 points, 2 shots on goal. Anything you would like to say about our last games here of the season?
Well, so that game on the 29th, the last game at home, it would have been the last game of the regular season, but that game against Winnipeg had been rescheduled. No, I said the 29th was a game, in morning skate, the morning of, Yanni and Gourde had said, hey, we need to come out and really set the tone and really give Seattle something to cheer for. They talked, Gourde especially talked a lot about the way that the crowd had been great throughout the season, how they were always there, obviously through, you say thick and thin, but there was a lot of thin.
Yeah.
Right. And just how they wanted to send them out on a good note. And I'd say they did that. You come out, they score 2 goals immediately, and then they get an empty netter at the end. Get the first shutout at home ever. Chris Drieger has a pretty damn good game. And then they had their player awards after. It was a really fun night.
Yeah.
And the game, I think press conference and everything ended like 9:30.
Mm-hmm.
I was in the building until midnight.
Oh my goodness.
They didn't kick me out. I just was taking things in because it was, to be able to, fan appreciation as well. They had a really cool thing where they did where they had a bunch of fans. They found them randomly, and they did a jerseys right off of our back thing where they picked a fan for every player that had played, that had suited up that night. And they have had them on the ice, and every player gave them the jersey right off of their back and signed it for them and everything. And they did. It was really cool. There's some things that obviously, the product throughout the first year has been sort of a mixed bag, inconsistent. You talked about consistency earlier. This is a team that's been really inconsistent, but I think they really did a good job with the last game. Not only obviously the play on the ice and that 3-0 win, but everything they did off the ice and. Just as a whole, with the whole fan appreciation thing, that was a lot of fun, And the only thing I'll say about that loss to the Jets is it increases your lottery odds. So I think you have good odds for the 3rd overall pick, maybe the 4th. I think it's 3rd or 4th overall pick, and I think you have 10% odds for the number 1 overall pick. So, this was a thing that you already knew that you were going to be near the bottom of the league.
Yeah.
And so I think it was okay to win the Sharks game, but you wanted to win the Jets game if you wanted to kind of stay near that 3rd overall pick. So
sure.
I don't. You've got a lot of picks already in these upcoming drafts, so I think they'll be fine. But no, I was happy with the way they finished out the season, and it's more so with that game on the 29th would have been a good ender.
Yeah, definitely. Had that game not gotten rescheduled there.
Yeah.
On to some roster moves here. On the 25th, the team recalls Dennis Chalowski and Joey Decord from AHL's Charlotte Checkers. On the 28th, the team reassigns Cale Fleury and Joey Decord to the AHL's Charlotte Checkers. And do you want to walk us through some of the awards that were handed out?
So, yes, we talked about those a little bit on the 29th. So the team had some team awards to give out. So we'll go through, I'll let you know what they are. As we continue here. So the Pete Muldoon Award is essentially the Kraken's MVP award as voted on by the Seattle area media. And in case you didn't know, that I got to vote on that.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Seattle area media, and this was actually my pick. They had, 1 through 3, who you would pick for that. And this was actually who I voted number 1. So Jared Mccann wins the Pete Muldoon Award for the Kraken's MVP award. Mccann had a career year scoring 27 goals, as well as signing a $25 million 5-year deal with Seattle and being the first player to re-sign with the franchise. So Canner there, a career year, like I said, and really said that he wants to be in Seattle, says that they're just getting started. So that's really positive to see. Heading over to the 3 Stars of the Year award, an award honored via calculation of which Kraken player earned the most 3-star honors after each home game. So if you were the first star of the night, you get 3 points. Second star of the night, 2 points. Third star of the night, 1 point. Going to goaltender Philipp Grubauer there. So Gruby, kind of an up and down year for Philipp, but kind of really settled in the second half of the season. So good to see him get noted there. The Guile Fielder Award and the Fan Favorite Award. So I'm mixing in two because they went to the same guy.
Okay.
The Fan Favorite Award was determined by a fan vote, an award that was, fan vote, Fan Favorite Award. And then the Guile Fielder Award awarded an award that was established to identify the season's player and teammates who best exemplified perseverance, hustle, and dedication, named after Guile Fielder, a legendary player that spent some good time here in Seattle. Both of those awards going to Yanni Gourde. I mean, it makes total sense. Yanni Gourde is a guy that, if you asked me, if there was a guy that I would want to put a singular camera on every single game, it would be Yanni Gourde. He's a guy that's always flying around. If he gets in a fight, he's got the biggest damn grin on his face. I mean, how off-putting is that? If you're in a fight with somebody and they've got this biggest smile, I'm like, what are you doing, man? And I mean, I know that with Giordano being traded at midseason, there was no captain's patch throughout the end of the season.
Yeah.
I don't know what they plan to do next season, but if they're gonna put someone the captaincy on someone, it would be Yanni Gourde. So Gordo, I think both of those was well deserved. And this wasn't technically an award, but it was something to note. With the end of the season, the only player to play in every single game for Seattle, the sort of Iron Man award, defenseman Adam Larsson played in every single game for Seattle. So kind of a testament there. I mean, with all the injuries, the way that hockey players get banged up, especially with COVID still happening, did not miss a single game. So Lars, him and his V-necks, good for him.
Did you guys got to see the awards being handed to each person at the game?
Last season. Yeah. After the game, before they did the jerseys off the back thing, they give awards to the players, and they did an all-team fish toss, which I don't know if you've been to any of those games, but they have these little stuffed salmon, and they're signed by the players. And if you're one of the 3 stars of the night, you would get to toss one into the crowd.
How cool.
And so every single player on the roster did that. And I think because they paid for a lot of those salmon before the season, hoping that the team would play better, but they had had overstock.
They're like, what the heck?
So they're like, throw them out there. So that was kind of cool. But just a note here, with the roster moves with Charlotte, as we look at on the second, Dennis Chalowski was reassigned back to AHL Charlotte. The reason that a lot of these players that had come from Charlotte were being sent back to Charlotte is that the Checkers are in the AHL playoffs. And they got like a first round bye. So they're going to need, we want to bolster up. Yeah. Gourde that we looked at there, the goaltender, he had a really good season in Charlotte. So hoping for the best for the Checkers, who, again, after this season, we won't be affiliate with, because Seattle's AHL affiliate, the Coachella Valley Firebirds, will be getting their inaugural season underway next year. But because they didn't have one this year, they had to split with the Florida Panthers and share an AHL team, which is kind of weird.
Yeah.
But,
it worked.
Kind of cool. Yeah, it was fun.
Moving on to some league news here. On the 28th, Florida Panthers clinched the President's Trophy. Florida secures the honor for the first time in franchise history following 58th win of season coupled with average lost.
Okay, well, something just happened, so we have to look at it.
Oh, God.
So we're going to head back to the Storm here. Not necessarily. The Storm just waived guard Reina Perez and center Alyssa Cunane right now, 4 minutes ago. So just talking about Cunane. So maybe
she's not filling that roster spot.
Nope. So I wonder if that, we just talked about it. I wonder if that was a move that they had been looking at with the Rashonda Gray thing. And I was hoping that Perez would make that roster. And it sucks because I met both of those women at a Kraken game, and they were both very nice.
I need you to stop having favorites, because it's not looking good for your favorites on the Storm.
Well, not favorites either in any of these sports. Bobby Wagner's gone. So that was fun. I always love when news breaks when we're recording.
Okay.
I guess we have to finish out the NHL. Sad face.
Let's move back to the league news here for the NHL. On the 30th, the Red Wings fire head coach. Detroit parts ways with Jeff Blashill after 7 seasons with just 1 playoff appearance. And
it's not good math. I don't know about you. That's not good math.
I mean, I could see it coming with those statistics there. Our Kraken record ended at 49-6 with 60 points, and they ended in that 8th spot in the Pacific Division. And looking ahead, next week we'll have a Kraken season in review.
Yeah, just to look at some. Obviously, they had their team awards, but would like to look at some other things. Best games, what stood out, what to look forward to next year. Maybe even I think look at who might be on the roster next year and all that, because I believe there's like 8 guys whose contracts ended at the end of this year. So we'll definitely look at that for you this upcoming week. So